It's time for This Week on the Ice, and here are your hosts, Randy Preston and Carol McKee.
Good afternoon, fans, and welcome to Hockey 605's This Week on the Ice. My name is Randy Preston, and I'm here with
Carol McKee,
as well as Matt Althoff.
Privileged
to be here.
Matt Althoff with Sioux Falls Youth Hockey Association. We're so glad you could join us today, Matt.
It's an honor to be here.
Especially since we had to reschedule with the snowstorm yesterday.
Yeah, we can navigate sheets of ice, but not
That's right.
piles of snow very
That's
well.
so true.
Well, and I will be the one to raise my hand. I got stuck yesterday. I was able to make it into church yesterday, and then on my way home, I got stuck on my way home.
How about that?
Oh, wow.
In my neighborhood. So it was a situation where as long as I kept my car moving, I was fine, but as soon as I stopped, I was dead in the frozen water.
Yesterday was a Boy Scout's dream. It was ample opportunities to do a good turn daily. We saw lots of cars stuck.
There were a lot of them. I saw on Facebook quite a few people that were sending out thank yous to anonymous helpers.
There you
which
go.
was nice.
You know, I sent a text message to Carol and said, Carol, I don't think I'm going to be able to make it for the recording, and we just rescheduled. But thank you for being flexible for the reschedule.
Privileged to be here. Thank you.
You've had, as the director and a board member for Sioux Falls Youth Hockey, you've had the privilege and the distinction of coordinating a lot of tournaments the first time here at the IcePlex. So, that's why we asked you to come and visit with us a little bit about how the tournament's gone, the IceBreaker Series. Are they done for the season now?
We have our IceBreaker Series is concluded, and this was year one, so we hope beta version's even bigger and better. We've learned an awful lot, but it has just been really humbling on the whole to have been approached by so many skaters, so many coaches, so many parents that have come up to us and said, really great tournament, really glad we came, we're coming back. No doubt a large component of that has been our facility. We're just so blessed in Sioux Falls to have had our community come together to raise charitable contributions that made this brand new SCHEELS IcePlex possible, and it is very well suited for tournament play.
It really is.
We were able to structure a lot of game schedules that was, I contend, skater friendly, adequate breaks between games, but at the same time not having to play at these horror stories you hear about in some tournaments of 5:45 a.m. puck drops and 10 p.m. for little squirts and atoms kind of thing playing that late in the evening. So
we really hope you're able to avoid that forever.
Yeah, amen.
Well, it started off with the Squirt BC tournament in December, and then the PBA tournament and the Squirt A tournaments both here in January.
That's right.
Well attended, and you drew from a lot of areas, not only in South Dakota, but Iowa and Minnesota, Nebraska.
Nebraska, as well as had a North Dakota team present, which were very, for we lowly South Dakotans just trying to figure out skating, right? That's a humbling thing to say, wow, North Dakotans came down here, but really great response. And as you say, we really had 5 states represented over the course of the series, and hoping for more. We knew that year one would be, my observation, you learn a lot.
Right.
And in year one, we have learned that it is something that we knew going into it. To go from essentially a 1-sheet town to a 3-sheet facility, I'll just speak from my own experience. My son is here today with us, and Sebastian went 2 consecutive years without ever having a home game.
Wow.
And you think about how that happens with the off-ice officiating that's required. There's just a whole lot of people in our organization as association that we've not had to do that sort of thing. The scorekeeper, time clock operator, the penalty box. Granted, these are short learning curves, but there is still that sense of, you want me to announce a game? And so we're pooling and helping to formulate what I think is a organic movement of parents and enthusiasts that are very excited to come out and help produce these tournaments, because without them you just cannot do it.
That's a good point.
It's a significant element of human contribution that makes it possible. So
yeah, that's something I probably don't think about, is that cadre of trained volunteers for all those positions that Randy and I frequently talk about, the off-ice officials. And Randy's a a big advocate of good training for those off-ice officials.
And a good trainer.
Yes.
As I consider myself a mentor, a mentee of Randy. So.
Well, it's been a pleasure, and I was happy to help for a couple of those tournaments. Hopefully I can help more in the future, but you know, it's always about the time that you have available to give.
Yep.
And you know, the interesting thing with working with these volunteers is they were all very, very willing to take the time to learn the job.
Amen. Yeah, and wanted to do. You know, we try to impress upon our entire association that we see this as an asset not just for Sioux Falls youth hockey, but for the greater South Dakota Amateur Hockey Association and beyond. And because you know, that's certainly with Joe Zuger's mindset and his vision for this facility, I believe that to be the case. Well, part of that is our interactions with humans, and so we really attempted in every way possible to impress upon our association members, hey, help to extend that welcome mat, help to, you know, greet people when they come in and such. And no doubt, I mean, it is a thrill to experience a hockey game, especially if you're new to the sport, in that different capacity, right there behind the box there, the coaches' boxes and such, and see, you know, what kind of goes on in the intricacies of the game, the technical intricacies of the game, in a whole different light. And I think it really, you know, what I look at that is, yes, great, we're going to have more volunteers and able and capable volunteers, but more knowledgeable fans.
Right.
You know, that's the beauty thing, is how much you learn the game, and you know, maybe that might cut down on the ballyhooing about bad officiating calls and stuff too. You never know.
I'm thinking about that you know,
wishful
now
thinking.
They can contribute to the game other than trying to coach from the stands or officiate
Yep.
from the stands. So that's another good way of giving people another.
And after years and years of having done that type of work, I really feel out of place when I'm in an arena and I'm not either up against the ice or have a pen and paper in my hand taking score. It's something that I'm so used to and something that I love so much that I have a tough time switching paradigm and being a fan.
And when your milk chocolate smooth voice isn't over the PA system, all of us feel out of place too. So that's
very good point.
As we Sioux Falls fans have grown, particularly with the Stampede and also out here now at the IcePlex.
So Matt, what does the next year hold? Next season? Have you started talking?
We have
about
already,
what you're doing?
you know, and part of the issue is that you kind of forge anew and you try to carve out, trying to be respectful of a lot of other associations that frankly have created a lot of benefit for our own skaters from Sioux Falls that have gone and participated in other tournaments. But try to, you know, bob and weave a way to carve out a path to say, I think we want to anchor on this weekend. And so with one minor tweak, our weekends next year will probably be the same. But as I said, bigger and better. So not only do we anticipate growing our tournaments, because frankly, with some sacrifice on the part of association time, meaning, you know, some of the weekend practice schedules and stuff like that, we're quite confident we can host tournaments of 16 teams and maybe even bigger down the road. Our goal would also to be expand. We did not have a Bantam tournament this year. A big emphasis of mine personally, and I know of our board, will be to have a girls tournament as well. So those are two areas that we would really like to see. With varsity play being so focused on the league play, don't know that that'll be year 2. Maybe that's a year 3, year 4 kind of vision. But those are the areas that we need to go. We know, in addition to that off-ice officiating, certainly a lesson that I readily acknowledge is we still also are dealing with the core of officials here, game officials, on-ice officials, that we need to help bolster and encourage and get it on their schedules. You know, that was one issue that we encountered, those that live here in Sioux Falls, that we were hoping to count on because of the draw with the checking levels this year, having a 4 on-ice official system. It was a real drain on us, so we didn't have the officials here in town that we'd hoped to have. So that's another priority.
And you know, adding 3 sheets here as opposed to the one that used to be in Sioux Falls, plus Mitchell adding another sheet last year, has undoubtedly created a lot more games in the last couple of years. So those officials do need to be recruited, and we do need to get more.
And as tournament director or coordinator, I will tell you, games don't just happen. You know, it's one thing to build the facility, but you know, it does take an infrastructure of humans to be able to pull all that together. So that's something that you know, you just take inventory of and ride the momentum. I just want to emphasize, I just was so humbled at how many people approached me personally and said thank you, and how many have indicated, you know, you wish in tournament play that everybody came out victorious. You know, there's always that differentiating factor. How thrilled you are is a correlate to how well we played, but my emphasis is not so much the tournament trophy as it is, hey, we had 4 games this weekend, and through each of them we saw a progression of we as a team growing in our ability to collectively work together. I as a team member being able to realize that, hey, I got teammates that can count on me to get the puck where it needs to be. You know, my skating skills, those are the things that we hope to create by having this intense sequence of games over a short period of time. It's far more about that for me as a tournament coordinator perspective than it ever will be about, you know, having the biggest trophy in the land.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
and building the hockey culture.
Yeah.
That's all a part of it.
Yep. Well, certainly.
Well, we appreciate you coming and giving us an update on, you know, I was here for all of the tournaments and enjoyed every one of them. But
So,
I think it's good for people to kind of get the big picture of all of them together.
I know I shared it to you personally, but you know, what a differentiating factor, and repeatedly heard a couple of teams are really aggressive about getting the word out. You know, whether they had parents that couldn't be there with them this weekend and they were sending word back home or otherwise. What a great thing to be able to say, hey, I can still follow along in the game that was there in the feature. So thank you to Hockey 605 that helped take these games, and as you're aware, we received a tweet from Scotland, and no, not the one down near Yankton County,
right.
but the one over the pond that said, hey, I'm watching from afar. So what a great story.
That weekend we had tweets from Scotland and messages from Scotland and England,
Yeah.
Canada, and at least five other states that were more than 1,000 miles away.
Awesome.
So.
Well, grateful for all that Hockey 605 has done to help bring exposure and expand the offering, you know, make it available to more people.
Wish we could be at every tournament all over the state.
Yeah.
We'll have to expand our cadre of volunteers.
There's only one Carol and Randy, right? So
We got 2 Randys.
two Randys. This is true. 2 Randys. So, but Randy's usually behind the ice or behind the glass, pardon me, and that Randy's behind the camera. So.
And I'm out with the kids with the microphone.
There you go.
Well, we appreciate it, you taking this time, and we're always happy to be here and work with the kids, and all of your volunteers have been wonderful to work with, Matt.
Great.
So we appreciate your working with us and helping us get educated too.
Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Matt. And thank you. We'll be right back with more of Hockey 605's This Week on the Ice after this word from our sponsor.
Bargain Bites has a huge supply of refurbished electronics. They're a Microsoft authorized refurbisher. Just look at this. Computers as low as $100 and a wide variety of electronics, all so affordable. Look at these deals. A Dell 4-core laptop, fully tested, only $200. A MacBook, fully tested and ready to go, only $200. And mention Hockey 605 and get an additional 10% off. Subscribe to the Bargain Bites YouTube channel and get all sorts of great tips from super technician Brendan. Bargain Bites, just east of the airport off Benson Road. Visit them today online at bargainbites.net.
Welcome back to Hockey 605's This Week on the Ice. Randy Preston here with Carol McKee.
Hey.
And our special guest.
We have a special guest with us today. Love that you're able to join us today, Sebastian. This is Sebastian Althoff, and Sebastian has worked with us on some games that we've done during the tournament.
You know, I've seen some of that work. You do a nice job out there, sir.
Thank you.
He does.
Yeah.
Well, he started off the very first sport tournament helping me out by lining up interviews, right, Sebastian?
Right, yep.
And how did you do that? Did you just go down and talk to the coach, or?
Yeah, and then I told coach to go grab a couple of players, and yep.
And I had a coach and some players to interview after the game, and then we asked you to help us with the game analysis. What did you think of doing that?
That was a blast for the first time. It was really a cool experience.
And you did a great job. We just between periods.
At That's what I
We
hear.
just talked a little bit about it and how both teams were doing, and you were giving us your viewpoint from a player perspective, which was great. So we appreciate you doing that, and I'm really glad you could come today and help us with the youth report.
Now, Carol, before we get into the youth report, I understand you're wearing a special jersey today.
I am.
I'm dressed in my hockey 605 jersey, and you're not. What's up?
I'm going to make sure everybody can see this.
Okay.
Remember before Christmas when I was talking about how the Wahi Capitals?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
They were having a special deal to get some jerseys. Well, I got one better than that. I have a game-worn jersey that was a season-worn jersey. Wearing the number 77. This is from my nephew Trey Granis.
Okay.
And yesterday was Trey's birthday. We did a live stream of the game here that they had against the Sioux Falls Flyers East.
Okay.
And Trey had brought this for me for my gift, and I was going to wear it for the show yesterday, but even though it's the day after his birthday, I'm still wearing it, and I will wear it a lot.
It still works.
That's right.
And I think it was Friday or Saturday, I'm out here working, and your sister walks up to me and says, "Hey, remember me?" And I go, "Yeah, you're Carol's sister, right?" "Yeah."
Yep.
So
She was here over the weekend for games, and I wasn't able to be at the games until yesterday. So, what do you think of my new jersey? You like it?
I mean, it's got Wahi on it, but I mean,
Are you carrying a little bit of a Sioux Falls Flyers bias?
no.
No. Okay.
No, actually, no, I just made some friends with some Brookings guys.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, we were just in Brookings, and before the game, I made some good friends with them, so.
Hockey friends, you can have hockey friends all over the state, can't you?
That's right.
I see you're sporting the Rangers jersey here.
Rangers.
Sweater, that's good looking. You know, when you come wearing a Pittsburgh shirt, then we'll really be in sync. You gonna help us with the youth report?
Yeah, let's go.
I'm gonna wear my Wahi Capitals jersey with pride.
That's just fine.
Okay, all right. All right, first off, we have up the Aberdeen Cougars. You want to share with them what's going on with the Aberdeen Cougars, Sebastian?
Alright, so the square A and B blue teams were at the Laverne tournament, A and B white teams were at the Yankton tournament. The Termites, also known as Adams, and the Mites had an in-house scrimmage. Pee Wee A was in Brookings, the Pee Wee C at Sioux Center, and the Bantams at Brookings and Watertown.
And you know, you just educated me because you said termites, also known as Adams, because I wondered why some programs had termites, others had Adams. Now I know.
You know, we just had this talk at our house.
You did?
Yeah, we did it right after brunch on Sunday.
Well,
Sisters had no clue, but
well, I was as clueless until you said that. So, and I'm a little bit older than your sisters. You know what's happening at Brandon Valley? Brandon Valley is having a try hockey for free with the Ice Cats, and it's for kids ages 4 to 9 on Saturday. It'll be February 21st from 11 to 12:15 here at the SCHEELS IcePlex, and you can register online at thebrandonvalleyhockey.com. They will have limited equipment available for use. That's a great program, don't you
that
think,
is
Sebastian?
definitely. I mean, hockey can get pricey. It's not available for everyone, so it's good when a lot of people have a chance to do it. So.
It is, and that's what these Try Hockey for Free events are about. And Randy, you probably know about the TJ Cup.
yeah, I've actually very familiar with TJ and his family, and the fact that they're doing the TJ Cup here March 6th, 7th, and 8th right here at the IcePlex. It's a tournament that's put together by friends and family of TJ Wrench. He passed away in June of 2010. He was 37 years old at the time from a very, very rare autoimmune disorder. TJ played for the Sioux City Metros in high school, and he also played for the Sioux City Musketeers in juniors, and then he did a lot of other Tier 1 elite things around the Midwest over his high school and junior career. In college, he played for the Iowa State Cyclones, and they won 2 national championships. So he's had a really good hockey career up until that time. TJ chose to give back to youth hockey. He coached a total of 15 years in Sioux City, Sioux Falls, and also in San Diego, kind of all over the country. All the coaching he did was on a volunteer basis. He participated in the South Dakota State Amateur Hockey Association and served as an assistant coach for the national U14 team, and was currently working with the U16 team when he passed away. The TJ Wrench Youth Hockey Foundation was formed to help promote the introduction of youth hockey to children and to support those who currently play. And if you have any curiosity or any information about the TJ Wrench Youth Hockey Foundation, you can go to the website www.wholoveshockey.com.
Oh, what a great name for it.
.org, excuse me.
Oh,
Thank you.
.org. Thanks, Sebastian.
Yeah.
That's really awesome that they're doing that.
And it's neat that they are resurrecting this tournament. I was there the year that TJ passed away. The first night they had a game out at the old barn. It was the Sioux City Metros versus the Sioux Falls Flyers, their varsity teams, and it was a whale of a show out there.
Oh, I bet.
It was a lot of fun, and the biggest crowd they ever had out at the Expo building. They had almost 1,500 people there for that game.
Wow. Well, it's nice that they're bringing that back. From everything I've heard, I've never had the pleasure of knowing him, but his contributions will long be remembered here.
Yes, very much so. Very much so.
Let's talk about Brookings. Brookings Rangers.
Brookings.
They have a big tournament coming up this weekend. Did you know that, Sebastian?
I didn't. You know, I'm in Edina all weekend, so.
You're where?
Edina, Minnesota.
You're in Edina for hockey?
Yep.
Oh, well, you're going to miss out on the girls' tournament then. You want me to keep my eyes open for a girlfriend for you? Not yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
Dad says no.
Focus on hockey.
Dad says no.
Focus on hockey. They're going to have 19 and under girls there. They're a little old anyway, right? And 12 and under girls. It's going to be the biggest girls tournament in the state.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, and you know what? We're going to be there, and we're actually working to live stream both tournaments, both the U12 and the U19.
That sounds like a challenge.
Yeah. It's going to be a challenge. Randy will be doing one, and I'll be doing the other.
Well, have fun.
We will. Now, Brookings does have a mobile tournament program for it, a tourney program. It's at bisahockey.com. That's BISA for Brookings Ice Skating Association, hockey.com. And then they also have their Sports A and B tournament coming up in 2 weeks. Think you might know anybody going to that?
If Sioux Falls is, yeah, I'm not really sure.
Yeah. Well,
I'm sure I know someone.
Maybe you'll get a chance to go and do some commentary on that one.
Maybe.
That's what's happening in Brookings. And of course the Oahe Capitals were here over the weekend. I got my jersey. We live streamed the games.
A lot of Oahe Capitals games here at the IcePlex this weekend.
Yes, there were a lot of them here. We got to be here for the JV and the varsity girls games.
Okay.
And then for the PBA, excuse me, the Bantam A. And my nephew Trey had his birthday, and that's why we live streamed. Do you think that was a good birthday present for him?
Definitely. I bet he loves that.
I think he liked it. Well, you know, Trey and his brother Wyatt, my two nephews, they're the reason there is a Hockey 605.
Oh, really?
It's because they were playing and they asked us to do it. So.
That's cool.
And their mom.
That's really cool.
Their mom encouraged us a lot.
Well, thanks Trey and Wyatt for helping birth this Hockey 605. It's great.
Yeah, we're very pleased that we listened to him after a couple of years. We interviewed a lot of players over the weekend. And also it was on Sunday, it was also Karin Brackey from the Oahe Capitals, Lady Capitals. It was her birthday, so happy birthday again, Karin. We tweeted it out today, and I wish you a happy birthday. Got to interview several of the Lady Caps, as well as the Oahe Bantam A Caps.
So did Trey win?
They did win. They won both games. And he scored a nice goal. He gave himself a really nice birthday present.
That's always
And he had an assist.
Makes the game.
Makes the game, doesn't it? The Oahe Capitals are going to have an activities table at the activities roundup at the YMCA in Pier at the gym tomorrow from 5 to 8 p.m. So the Caps will be there on hand to discuss with people what hockey's about, answer their questions, tell them how to register to help grow the sport. Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, definitely.
You want to give the report about the Sioux Center tornadoes?
Sure.
Or should we do the Rushmore first?
Oh, we should probably do Rushmore first. I kind of jumped over that one.
Why don't you take the Rushmore Thunder there?
So the Rushmore scored A Gold and B teams at Yankton and score A Black at Laverne. The Pee Wee B at Mitchell and Pee Wee A at Sioux Falls East. The Bantam A1 at
They were at North Dakota.
North Dakota. Okay.
Yeah.
North Dakota tournament. The girls JV and varsity at Aberdeen. And we had the pleasure of live streaming 2 of their games and visiting with several Rushmore Thunder Squirt players and coach at the Yankton tournament over the weekend. All of those interviews can be seen on Hockey 605 on YouTube.
Yep.
Very nice.
Very well done. And you know what? I interviewed 15 of the Rushmore Thunder players on Saturday.
Is that like their whole team?
There were 3 teams there. There were 3 Rushmore teams there. So it was the equivalent of a whole team, but it was from 3 different teams. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
You want to take Sioux Center?
So Sioux Center, the Sioux Center Tornado Squirts were at the Yankton tournament over the weekend, and Hockey 605 get a chance to live stream one of the games and visit with a few of their players, as well as the coach and hockey mom.
Yes,
from the
Jamie
team.
Hawk.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, got to interview a hockey mom. It was fun.
Thanks, Janie, for visiting with Hockey 605. As always, you can watch all of these interviews on the Hockey 605 TV on YouTube. Sunday's snowstorm not only prevented us from doing This Week on the Ice, sorry, it also interfered with a few hockey games in the area. Sioux Center Storm's JV game with Brookings has been rescheduled for February 15th, 5:10 p.m. puck drop. I only found out about that game because my son was supposed to go down and referee, and he woke up to a text message at 8 o'clock in the morning saying, no game.
No game.
Yeah.
Not going to be able to get to Sioux Center.
We couldn't get out of our driveway.
But as we were discussing a little bit yesterday, Randy, I'm surprised there weren't more game cancellations.
Yeah, and that, as having been a hockey dad for a number of years, I certainly understand, particularly when the teams are already in position, they'll usually play the games. If the teams can get to the rink and if they're already in town, they'll play the games. So I certainly understand all the games out here. But at the same time, I understand Brookings not wanting to drive through that mess to get down to Sioux Center on Sunday.
If there's room in the schedule to reschedule, the person needs to be smart about it, right?
Yeah. And the state has done a really nice thing the last couple of years as well, is any game that gets canceled, if it's toward the end of the season, you realize we're only 2.5 weeks away from tournaments.
I know.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
It's gone quick.
But in any game that doesn't really matter in the standings, they don't force the teams to play it.
Okay.
So, that Brookings Sioux Center team game, that's actually a pretty big game in girls JV. That one will get played.
Yeah.
That one will get played.
They need to get that one played. They both want it. So.
Yeah.
And according to Puxatawny Phil, we only have 6 more weeks of winter, right?
That's what my sister told me in the car.
I don't know. If you're getting your weather reports from a groundhog, you might be in trouble. Of course, the way the weather reports have been lately, we might as well listen to the groundhog, right?
Yeah, no kidding. No offense.
Yeah, no offense to the groundhogs or the weathermen. Sioux Falls Flyers, we caught up a little bit. We had a gentleman that you know on here at the beginning of the show, Matt Althoff. Have you met him?
I think so.
Yeah, I think you met him.
Yeah, I think so.
We talked a little bit about what's been happening with the Sioux Falls Flyers, but we focused just on the tournament. So one of the things that happened this weekend was the Lady Flyers teamed up with the Susan G. Komen Foundation.
Yeah, I was just looking at on the website before I came.
Yeah, and so they did a kind of a pink in the rink. It was called Stick It to Cancer. And they had breast cancer awareness. They had some really cool pink jerseys that they were wearing for their warm-ups, and they went on TV and talked to people wearing their pink jerseys. It was really cool. And they played the Pewaukee Capitals. They had a lot of fun activities going on. You should have seen the hat that Mr. Hockey had on.
I may give Randy a picture of that along with the referees and Mandy, so he may end up posting that thing on this.
I would love it.
It was
a cat in the hat.
Yeah,
my son, about this high.
My son, who was refereeing and wearing his pink referee jersey at the time, came up to me and said, "Hey, Dad, Dr. Seuss called. He wants his hat back."
It was a pink cat in the hat. And it was really tall.
This tall.
Anyway, it was a lot of fun going to that game, and we live streamed those games too. Have you ever gone to a mite festival when you were little?
Falls Freeze, yeah, we did at the arena when the Stampede were still there.
Oh, you did?
So yeah.
That's this weekend. But you'll be in Edina, right?
That's right.
And we'll be in Brookings.
Thursday to Sunday.
Wow.
Falls Freeze is a great tournament. I believe they're splitting the games between the rinks here and some games at the Denny Sanford Premier Center.
Oh, lucky me.
So these kids are going to get a chance to play on the big ice in the big house here in Sioux Falls. That's a great
That's
show.
really going to be fun.
Yeah. And the Falls Freeze is a lot of fun. It's a good tournament. Lots of teams from around the area will come. And it's just a blast.
Sebastian, would you like to give this report? We're all pretty happy about that one.
So, I didn't even know this.
Yes.
We're thrilled to share the news that Nathan Wick returned home on January 30th. Sounds like Nate will have to lay low for 5 to 7 weeks, but we are sure he is glad to be out of the hospital and back home. February 12th is the Skate for Nate fundraiser event at the SCHEELS IcePlex with lots of activities planned. You can pre-order your Skate for Nate t-shirt by February 5th. All proceeds from the Skate for Nate event will go to the Nate Wick family.
Isn't that cool?
Definitely.
So happy to hear he's back. And you know, we had changed our profile picture on Hockey 605 Facebook until he came home.
Oh, really?
So now we changed it back to our Hockey 605 logo. But we're so happy you're doing better, Nate. And we're looking forward to the Skate for Nate event.
Yeah, you know, a captain on my team was wearing the Skate for Nate helmet sticker. See it every time. I think of him every practice. But
Yeah.
That's cool.
yeah.
Scary thing he went through, and it's not all done yet, but he's well on his way to getting a lot better. So,
It's great.
and you know, there's still some unclaimed dibs. You know what a dibs is? Parents know what dibs are. Dibs are, that's really cool, where you can sign up online to volunteer for different things, right?
Okay.
So they have some spots available yet this week on the Sioux Falls Flyers website, parents. So there's your opportunity to give back to the game, right? Go say dibs.
And that day does close with the Varsity Orange versus Varsity Blue game right here behind
That's
us
right.
at the feature ring.
Is that the rescheduled one?
No,
that's the original schedule.
schedule.
Yep.
Thursday the 12th, 7 p.m. puck drop right here at the IcePlex.
That'll be a fun day. And you know what's coming up a couple days after that?
What?
Hockey 605's birthday.
Oh.
Yeah. Hockey 605 was born, started on Valentine's Day last year.
Nice.
We have a lot going on in February.
Yeah.
How about the Watertown Lakers report?
Okay.
ahead.
Yeah, we're excited to see and live stream 2 Watertown Lakers squirt games this weekend at the Yankton tournament, and have the opportunity to interview some of the Lakers players and Coach Eric Scott. Interviews, as always, will be on Hockey 605 on YouTube.
That's it, where they're at.
Always
It
there.
was fun. And Yankton Miracle. You know, Randy and I were down at Yankton for the Yankton Miracle Squirt Tournament this weekend, and it was so much fun. We live streamed the first 4 games, and the Yankton people just gave us such great hospitality. The Miracle, Yankton is known for their hospitality, and we got lots of it there. We got to watch some really good Squirts games. We got to live stream 4 of them. We interviewed 39 players, coaches, and a hockey mom. Thanks again, Jamie. And I want to thank Mike Kraszewski, Mike Kraske, Brian Schoenfelder, Randy Iacker, and all the rest of the crew at the Yankton Area Ice Association for that warm welcome. We're really looking forward to the boys JV tournament down there in March.
Be a good time.
It will be. Oh, and last but not least, we have a shout out and best of luck to the Yankton figure skaters who will be competing in Blaine this weekend.
Good luck.
Get 'em.
Go get them. So, South Dakota Selects. We've got Youth Nationals coming up, and that means it's time for the South Dakota Selects tryout.
Yep.
The South Dakota Youth Nationals team tryout will be held in Mitchell April 10th, 11th, and 12th. Birth years are 2002 to 1998. Players chosen for this team will play up to 20 games in the fall, and then they'll travel to the Youth Nationals tournament in March. Skaters from across the state are invited to try out. The coaching committee will choose 18 skaters and 2 goaltenders. For more information, go to SDAHA.com and look under the South Dakota Development tab on the webpage.
That'll be here before you know it, so
Yeah,
it's
sure
important
will.
to get that on the calendar. And you know, Randy, this weekend I learned about another AAA team that I wasn't familiar with.
Yeah.
The Black Hills Blaze.
Northland Hockey Group
Yes.
team, yes.
So, you know, it really got me thinking. Matt Tobin was on here talking about the Junior Stampede in December, but we also have the Solar Bears, the Sodak Select, we have the Black Hills Blaze. So if you, excuse me, If you know of an advanced youth program out there in South Dakota, we sure would like to hear about it. We'd like to, as the season starts to wind down and get to those state tournaments, we want to share that information with people.
Yeah, certainly do.
Don't you think, Sebastian?
Yeah, definitely.
Well, that wraps up the youth report.
There we go.
Did we miss anything?
I don't think so. Not
You did
that
a
I'm
great
aware
job.
of. Thank you.
High five on your first one.
Over here too, man. Beauty. So we'll be right back after this word from our sponsor.
Hockey Headquarters, assisting all your goals. Visit them today at thehockeyheadquarters.com.
Good afternoon. Welcome back to Hockey 605's This Week on the Ice. Randy Preston here with my friend Carol McKee.
Hello, hello. Let's talk hockey. Let's talk
It's varsity time.
varsity time. JV and varsity.
And we are going to, tangle things up a little bit.
Okay.
So we'll start with boys JV this weekend.
All right. Boys first.
Boys first. Something a little different. And we will end with girls varsity then. So that's
All right.
kind of the way we'll rock and roll today. So boys junior varsity over the weekend, they did have 5 games. One game on Friday night in Yankton, and that was Watertown taking on the Yankton Miracle, or the Yankton Bucks, excuse me. 6-3 victory for Yankton, or for Watertown, excuse me.
Okay.
And so not necessarily unexpected, but overall a pretty good game. So moving on then to Saturday's scores, Yankton then picked up and took off down to Huron and played the Huron All-Stars boys JV. This one says it was at the Mitchell Activity Center. That's a little different. Okay, well...
Well, actually, that's where is the Mitchell Activity Center in Mitchell is where they have the rinks, right? The Toshiba and the Innovative.
But I'm thinking it was Huron All-Stars playing Yankton.
Oh.
So that one's I don't know for sure.
Well, that's interesting.
Maybe they met halfway.
Maybe they did.
Okay.
That'd be all right.
But
Interesting.
Yankton taking on the Huron, and Yankton did win that one 10-4. And then out at the Thunderdome in Rapid City, Rushmore Thunder boys junior varsity taking on the Sioux Center Storm. 5-3 victory for Rushmore.
Wow, close game.
Close game. And then on Sunday, 2 more games on Sunday. Once again out in Rushmore, the Sioux Center Storm and the Rushmore Thunder skated to a 6-6 overtime tie.
Wow.
So that's...
regular season, they go do the overtime. If they're tied at the end of overtime, they're tied,
That is correct. That is correct. Each team gets 1 point in the standings, and let's keep going.
Wow, that's pretty neat.
Yeah, so they skate a little 10-minute overtime period, and if nothing else, it's all done.
And it was 6-6. They used up all their goals in the first 3
They
periods.
must have. And then in Brookings, the Huron All-Stars coming to Brookings take on the boys junior varsity. 8-0 victory for Brookings. Once again, not unexpected by any stretch of the imagination. I'm guessing Johnny Hocken had a good day.
I'm guessing 8-0, huh?
Yeah, 8-0. So you got some stats and some standings.
I do. The Brookings boys lead the pack, 17 points, but hot on their heels are those Rushmore Thunder lads with 15 points. Right behind them, tied for 3rd, Aberdeen and Sioux Center with 13.
Wow.
Yeah. Oahe are coming in at 4th with 9 points. 1 point behind them are the Yankton JV. Great outing for the Yankton boys JV this season.
Yeah, that's very strong.
Their inaugural year.
I did get a chance to watch the JV team play a game on Friday night last week and watch that Watertown game. That was actually a very good game.
Good. Well, I haven't had a chance to see them play, but hopefully I will soon. Watertown then is right behind Yankton with 7. Then we have Huron and Sioux Falls. JVs are tied with 6 points. And then the goalie stats, we still have Gus Kronberg and Nick Dalco with Aberdeen. who are trading spots in the goal, are leading the JV stats with .966 and .96 respectively. But Dylan Peterson for the Huron All-Stars has a 93.8 save percentage.
Wow.
Pretty darn nice. Matt Pease with Hawaii has a 92.6. And then we have two goalies that are tied with an 89.2. Landon Danielson of Aberdeen and Brody Holtman, also of Hawaii. So, and we have 3 more goalies with above an 88. That's pretty nice.
That's really nice. That's really nice. How about those skater stats?
Well, as you guessed it, Johnny Hockett still is in the lead. And I just don't know that there's enough season left for anybody to catch him with 28 points.
Yeah, he's 9 points ahead of the second place skater. Yeah, it's going to be difficult.
And the second place skater is also a fellow Rangers member. It's Kirby Selleck with 19. And then Jared Brew with Sioux Center is sitting there with 17. Right behind him are 3 players tied with 15. 2 of them are Brookings Rangers.
Wow.
Akron Prodol and Jordan Vlamin. I'm sorry, Jordan, if I mispronounced your name. Vlamink.
Yeah.
And then Keaton DeYoung with Sioux Center is also in there with 15 points.
Okay,
So
great,
some really good work going on there.
Yeah, that's a lot. So on to girls junior varsity.
Hey.
Girls JV, they had another busy weekend. 5 games on the docket for them. They started on Saturday with 3 games. Oahe Caps came here to Sioux Falls to take on the Sioux Falls Lady Flyers in the Pink in the Rink Day.
Yep.
And Lady Flyers walked away with a 6-0 victory that afternoon. Once again, not necessarily unexpected. In Watertown on Saturday night, Watertown Girls JV taking on the Brookings Girls JV. And Watertown with the victory 8-1.
Watertown girls and boys are waking up.
Yeah.
They're pulling it all together at the right part of the season.
Certainly.
So.
And then in Aberdeen, the Rushmore Thunder traipsed into Aberdeen to take on the Lady Cougars up there.
Both undefeated teams. And well, until I think they're both pretty
still both undefeated.
I'm not sure if Rushmore is still undefeated, but Aberdeen was.
Aberdeen was, and Aberdeen wins it 6-1 at the Odie up there on Saturday. Aberdeen's girls program is just strong. There's nothing more you can say about it.
You know what? That was Rushmore's first loss.
Okay.
It was. So,
wow.
What great programs we have there, that girls.
So then on Sunday, we had 1 game on Sunday, just one, and that was in Aberdeen. The rematch of the game before, the day before, the Rushmore Thunder and the Lady Cougars, and Rushmore with the overtime win, 3-2.
Oh wow!
So
I would really like to have been there for that one.
So the Cougars, Lady Cougars ended up with a 3-point weekend, and the Rushmore team got 2 points on the weekend.
Yeah. Wow. And you know, both of those teams have quite a bit of overlap between their JV and their varsity.
Yes.
So it's really interesting to see them play. You know, Rushmore now leads the girls JV, despite that loss. And Mitchell comes in. Oh, they're tied with Mitchell girls JV with 22 points apiece. Aberdeen are just there at 21.
They're at 21, but they are also have played 2 fewer games.
That's true.
So they're 10-0-1.
Wow.
On the season so far. That's just amazing.
Yeah, and I think Rushmore girls are 11-1-0.
Yeah.
And the Mitchell girls are 11-2-0. I'm not quite sure how the points came out that way.
Well, 11 wins is
11 wins.
Yeah,
11
22.
Wins. Yeah, right.
The Mitchell has played 1 more game than Rushmore. That's why they are technically in second place.
Yep. Points-wise tied.
Yeah.
And then we have the Sioux Falls girls JV with 13. Brookings and Yankton girls are tied with 10 points each. Watertown girls now are getting some points. They've been getting more and more. They're at 8. The Oahe girls are still looking for that first win, as are the Sioux Center girls JV. So that kind of rounds up the standings for the girls JV. And on the goalie stats, Caitlin Eidhoven from Mitchell Marlins is leading the heap with .919.
Yes.
You know, we have had Shelby Snow in there, but she's only played a couple games.
Right.
So I think I want to make sure that I've got that right. And it might be that Shelby is actually playing all the JV games and still shows up on the varsity. Shelby Snow is leading the girls JV.
Okay, so she's got a 950.
Yep, she's got a 950. Caitlin Eidhoven has a 919. Caitlin Wolf from Rushmore Thunder has a 917. So all very nice.
Yeah.
And then Marina Gerstner from Brookings has a 904. Yeah, so.
It's incredible.
Skater stats. Maddie Herman from Rushmore Thunder has 32 points.
Right.
And then we have Caitlin Holland from Aberdeen Central with 28.
Okay.
Excuse me, Aberdeen Cougars.
Aberdeen Cougars, yes.
That AC always easily comes out
I understand.
wrong.
I understand.
And Kensington Eckhoff, also from Aberdeen, with 25. Ashley Jones from Mitchell Marlins has 23, as does Tiffany Heyman from Watertown Lakers.
That's yeah. So you've got what, the top 6 there with over 20 points.
Yep.
That's
pretty
just
impressive.
incredible.
Pretty impressive.
Just incredible.
Well done, ladies. Keep it up.
Yeah, certainly. All right, moving on to boys varsity. Boys varsity had a little bit of a quiet weekend. Only 4 games in boys varsity over the weekend.
There were some tournaments going on.
A lot of tournaments going on. I know there were a lot of teams kind of out and about. So we'll start Friday night in Huron with the Mitchell All-Stars coming to town and playing the Mitchell Marlins, excuse me, coming to town playing the Huron All-Stars. Overtime game, 6-5 victory for the All-Stars.
Wow.
That's one of their first wins on the season, I believe. I think they've only won maybe 3.
They've been in there.
Yeah.
They've had some good games, but wow. Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think that was their 4th win of the season.
And then in Yankton on Friday night, another game that I got a chance to watch. Watertown Lakers taking on the Yankton Yankton Bucks, excuse me. The Storm, the Miracle,
Yankton.
Yankton. It was an 11-0 win for Watertown. Once again, not anything that was unexpected. Yankton's in their first season with a boys varsity team.
Yeah.
So they're learning and they're getting better.
Yeah, they're working on it. You know, their JV is doing very well. They'll just keep getting better. And I got a chance to watch their sports over the weekend, and they've got a lot coming up. So.
Yeah, they do. They do.
And Watertown, you can always count on solid teams in Watertown. They've been kind of sleeper this season, it seems to me.
Yeah,
they're really starting to pick up.
Well, if there's a time to pick up, now's the time.
That's exactly it.
So, and then moving on to Saturday's game. One game on Saturday in Mitchell. Sioux Falls 1 taking on the Mitchell Marlins, and it was a 7-0 win for Sioux Falls 1. I believe Caleb Anderson had a hat trick in that game. It was all Sioux Falls.
Okay.
Just all Sioux Falls. And
the score kind of indicates that.
Yeah. Moving on to Sunday's game. Once again, one game on Sunday. This was in Brookings. The All-Stars coming to the Larson Ice Comp Center up in Brookings, and it was a 9-0 win for Brookings. Once again, not totally unexpected.
Yeah.
So how about those stats in boys varsity?
Rushmore boys are still holding on to that lead narrowly. They've got 20 points. Right behind them with 19 are the Oahe Capitals.
All right.
And then 2 points behind them are Sioux Falls Flyers.
Sioux Falls 1?
Sioux Falls 1. Watertown Lakers have 15 points. And then right behind them are Brookings and Mitchell tied with 14 points apiece. Technically, Brookings is a little ahead.
They have played one fewer game.
Yep, one fewer games. They're 7-4, and Mitchell is 6-4-2.
Right.
And then we have Aberdeen with 12 points, Huron, Yankton, and then Sioux Falls 2.
Okay.
Sioux Falls 2 is just, they've been working hard, they just can't get that first win.
Right. Although they did win a tournament game over the weekend.
They did.
Yes.
That's right.
I know they beat Grand Rapids up in the Fargo tournament. I'm not sure. I'd heard they possibly had another victory on Sunday, but I didn't actually get the final score on that one.
I looked and I couldn't find any more on that. But you know, that's had an impact.
Yes.
They're working hard, that Sioux Falls 2 team, and that's starting to show. Adam Grady has now taken the lead in goalie stats. He's a 9-13.
Okay.
So he's moved into the lead. Matt Pease for Oahe is in second spot with a 901. And then Gus Kronberg for Aberdeen is at 900.
And then we got 3 of them just right next to each other.
Yeah, just bam, bam, bam. Then we have Robert Burnt and Donovan Knott, both from the Flyers 1 team.
Yeah, literally, I mean, within 1,000th of a percentage point, 887, 886.
And then Nick Delco from Aberdeen. We have an 885, 886, and 887.
Yeah, that's incredible.
So, pretty impressive goalie stats still.
Yes.
Skater stats.
Skater stats, leading the pack.
Leading the pack is, Ding, ding, ding.
TJ Nolan.
TJ Nolan.
I got a chance to see him skate this weekend.
Oh, did you?
Yes.
I'm envious.
Rushmore came to town here and played a game against the Minnesota Revolution.
And I didn't know about that.
Yeah, well, it was just a pickup game that didn't really get a whole lot of publicity. And
I would love to have seen it.
Yeah, it was a fun game. Revolution is an incredible team. It's got a couple of South Dakota players on it. Wyatt Nielsen plays on that team, as does Dalton Rittershouse from Brookings. And so a couple of hometown boys playing here in this.
Yeah. What a great opportunity, though.
But those games were very definitely dominated by the Revolution.
Yeah, I heard it was a little lopsided.
Yeah.
But what an opportunity, though, for the Thunder to be able to go up against that squad, that side. Coming in behind TJ Nolan with his 37 points and the skater stats is Jacob Sersosimo.
Yes.
With the Mitchell Marlins with 34 points.
Okay.
And then right behind him we have 3 guys tied.
Wow.
3 guys tied with 33 points. We have Jack Oberg and Anthony Petrato with the Rushmore Thunder, and then Landon Badger with the Hawaii Capitals.
Patrick Merrigan.
Oops, excuse me, Patrick Merrigan, yes. I'm misreading my stuff
Yeah,
here.
I can see that.
Patrick Merrigan from the Watertown Lakers with 33.
Good stuff.
Landon Badger was tied with those guys a lot.
Yes, he was.
And I got to meet Anthony's cousin.
AJ.
Yeah. Down at Yankton. He was there for the Squirts tournament, so that was fun.
Well, that's good stuff. So, moving on.
That's
girls varsity. Girls varsity had a wild weekend. that's the best I can say. They had 9 games this weekend in girls varsity.
Wow.
By far the largest number of games of any of the leagues here.
Do you have enough voice left to give all that report?
Yeah, I sure do.
Okay.
I think I can make it. All right. So we'll start Watertown on Friday night. Brookings Lady Rangers taking on the Watertown Lady Lakers. 10-2 victory for Brookings. And then in Aberdeen on Friday night, Rushmore Lady Thunder, Aberdeen Lady Cougars. 12-2 victory for Aberdeen.
Whoa. You know, I believe I talked with Anna Veazey's mom last week, and I think she wasn't going to be able to be there. I'm not sure if she was there. She's their standard goalie. That might have made a difference.
Yeah, it could have very definitely made a difference, but wow.
12-2. That's a surprise.
Very, very big surprise. Once again, though, that Aberdeen team, when they're clicking, they're very difficult to beat.
Coach Weinmeister has those girls just, as you said, clicking. They're just clicking. They're a very close group, and they work well together.
I have seen them play a couple of times. They're fast. They're good skaters. They're great passing. They've got some crazy shooters.
Yeah.
So.
And they're just like an extension of each other.
Yes.
It's like, okay, this is just like me being on the ice.
Which is the way a hockey team ultimately should be.
It's like one unit.
Yeah. So moving on to Saturday. Saturday's game here in Sioux Falls. Pink in the Rink Day. Stick It to Cancer Day. What a fun event.
It was fun.
Sioux Falls Lady Flyers taking on Oahe Lady Capitals. The Flyers did win that game 4-3.
That was a very close game.
Very close game.
The Lady Capitals were in there.
Yes. Matter of fact, I believe that no, they didn't lead at any point in time. I think they came back in the third, if I recall.
I can't remember. It seems like they might have actually been ahead. They were ahead at one point.
Yeah.
They were up 2-1 at one point.
Yes, you're correct. You're correct. All right, in Watertown on Saturday, Brookings Lady Rangers taking on Watertown Lady Lakers. 9-0 victory for Brookings. Once again, not necessarily unexpected. The Lady Lakers, they seem to be a very up and down team. When the Heyman sisters are on fire, they seem to be really, really good, and when they're not, they have a tough time. So, in Huron on Saturday, Mitchell taking on the Huron Lady All-Stars. Mitchell 7-2 victory.
Okay.
So, and then on to Aberdeen again one more time. Rushmore Lady Thunder taking on the Aberdeen Lady Cougars. Saturday game, 7-0 victory for Aberdeen.
Wow. Again, another.
So a couple of big wins for the Lady Cougars.
That is a big margin.
And they played 3 games on the weekend. They did play another game on Sunday as well. So let's start with that. At the Odie, Aberdeen Lady Cougars 4, Rushmore 0. So Rushmore, they didn't score a goal the entire weekend. The Lady Thunder.
Did they not scored. They scored 2.
Oh, they scored 2 on Friday
yeah.
night. That's
They
right.
scored 2 on Friday.
But nothing on Saturday, nothing on Sunday. That's pretty amazing. Haley must have been just standing on her head in goal.
She must have been.
So
she's doing a great job.
And then 2 more games. A game in Huron on Sunday afternoon. The Huron Lady All-Stars taking on the Mitchell Lady Marlins. Mitchell with the 13-5 victory at the Bergman in Huron. And then also right here on Sunday at the IcePlex, the rematch of the Saturday game. Oahe Lady Caps taking on the Sioux Falls Lady Flyers. That was a 5-2 victory for the Lady Flyers, a little bit more dominating game for them.
It was mostly even until that third period. And of course, Robin Hatcher got a hat trick in that one. Whoops.
Once again, imagine that.
Imagine that somebody a skater walking in front of the camera.
Yeah.
That show. So that's it for the games. We probably should look at stats.
Let's look at stats.
Aberdeen girls, imagine this, are leading.
I don't understand.
36 points. They have 36 points. Brookings, Lady Rangers, are in second at 32.
Okay.
The Rushmore Lady Thunder are tied now with the Sioux Falls Lady Flyers with 19.
Okay.
Technically, Rushmore Thunder are ahead because they've got 1 less game.
Right.
And then Mitchell Lady Marlins have 14. Followed by the Watertown Lady Lakers with 10, the Oahe Lady Caps with 6, and the Huron All-Stars, Lady All-Stars with 2.
All right.
The goalie stats.
Goalie, boy.
Haley Huff.
He's just amazing.
Is amazing. She's still got a 928. And then Anna Beasy for Rushmore Thunder has a 920.
Yeah.
Ava Krabenhoff, who is in the goal sometimes here for the Lady Flyers. I haven't really sat down to see if she's got enough varsity minutes, but I think she's got enough to.
Yeah, she's close.
917, and Brittany Corcoran with the Lady Flyers and Ann Jonas with the Lady Rangers are tied with a 903.
Yeah, it's incredible.
All those girls with above a 900. That's really amazing.
It sure is.
Skater stats. Guess who's leading the skater stats? Could it be
Bethany Rennick?
Good guess.
Hey, Bethany. By the way, Bethany, your cousin says hi. Stacy says hi, just so you know.
Well, that was nice to pass that along.
Yeah, she works with me. I have to give her a shout every once in a while.
Bethany's still in the lead with 57 points. Well done, Bethany. But on your heels are a pair of Haleys from Aberdeen. Wow. Haley Holland with 54 and Haley Gould with 53.
That's incredible.
With 53.
With 53.
Yeah, with 53. Followed up in the 4th position is Kyle Barrington with the Lady Marlins with 49. And we have a lot of 40s. We have Rhiannon Abel from Aberdeen with 43. Madison Althoff from Aberdeen with 41 has broke through. And Maddie Schultz with the Rushmore Thunders has 40.
That's just incredible.
Nice way to rack up those points.
And I'm sure, looking at the stats here in the top 10, and there's the ones that are just right below 30, there are some pretty phenomenal players as well. So lots of great players, lots of great goaltending, amazing stats right now in the girls varsity.
Well, we got Jordan Peterson and Tara Heyman from Brookings and Watertown respectively that each have 39, and then Robin Hatcher with her hat trick over the weekend, and she had a brace on Saturday. She got 2 on Saturday. And she picked up at least 1 or 2 assists too. Yeah, so she's coming in there at 38.
She had a really, really, really good weekend.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, she was on fire. So fun weekend for girls varsity. I cannot wait for the girls varsity tournament. And we are working on with the Rushmore Thunder out there to be able to come out and go out and live stream those games as well.
Very cool. So we've got lots of state tournaments coming up. I just want to quickly mention those dates before we close out our varsity report. So the weekend of February 20th is the Pee Wee weekend.
Yep, A, B, and C.
A, B, and C. A is in Huron, B is in Sioux Center, and C is in Mitchell. Right. And then the following weekend, we've got the Bantam and the girls JV tournaments. Bantam B will be here in Sioux Falls, Bantam A will be in Aberdeen, and the girls JV is out in Oahe. The following weekend will be the girls varsity and the boys junior varsity. Girls varsity is out in Rapid at the Thunderdome, and the boys junior varsity will be down at the Kiwanis Arena down in Yankton.
Right.
And then, last but not least, on the weekend of the 15th of March, boys varsity tournament in Brookings at the Larson Ice Center.
Yep, we're heading into tournament season.
Less than, I shouldn't say, a little over 2 weeks away.
Yeah.
That's just incredible.
So you know what the seasons are, the 4 seasons, right?
Okay, what are they?
Pre-season,
okay,
regular season, tournament season, camp season.
Camp season. I was thinking post-season, but you're probably much more accurate than I am.
I'm thinking on you. The youth side, it's camp season. So
I totally
those are the 4 seasons.
Beautiful. All right, well, that ends our varsity report for this week. We'll be right back after another word from one of our sponsors.
This is a story about evolution, specifically about the evolution of hockey. Everything has changed in hockey. Just look at the progression in the art of building a skate. And the safety of the goalies? Unbelievable evolution there. How about sticks? From the very crude to space-age composites. Player safety gear? Wow, incredible progress. Even the venues have evolved. Everything has evolved except the way we get information to tournament visitors. The tournament program has been largely unevolved for generations. But now that old unevolved program has evolved, and it's made a quantum leap to your smartphone. The Tourney Program smartphone program enhances tournament visitors' experiences by delivering information on their favorite device, their smartphones. The Tourney Program platform engages people in a way that no other media can. We can deliver your sponsorship or advertising message to our visitors literally weeks before the event even begins. What an advantage for you. And we have more options than you can shake a stick at. Evolve with the Tourney Program platform. Check us out today at tourneyprogram.com.
And it's time for our junior hockey, pro hockey report here, Hockey 605 this week on the ice.
All right. Looking forward to finding out what happened.
There was a lot of hockey, which was kind of interesting. We'll start with the North American Hockey League. Okay. The Wings and the Blizzard had a game. They played on Thursday night in Aberdeen. Okay. And it was, from my understanding, a pretty good game, but it was all Brookings all night long.
In Aberdeen.
In Aberdeen. Scoreless first period. The Blizzard stormed through the second with 5 goals. Wow. 5 goals. Kevin Shan from Joe Anderson, Victor Lindell from Nate Caldwell and Christopher Brune. Christopher Brune, former Stampede player, by the way. Okay. Zach Blinke from Victor Lindell and Nate Caldwell. Garrett Elmore from Zed Dietrich. And then Nate Caldwell from Beaumont.
Wow, way to go, Blizzard. 5
goals in the second, and Aberdeen, their only goal came midway through that barrage. Okay. And it was a Kyle Hawk goal from Vister Ostling and Will Hammer. And that was it. Final 5-1 Blizzard.
Everything in the second period.
Everything in the second period. Ryan Kubik took the win in goal for the Blizzard. He stopped 18 of 19 shots. Chad Catt took the loss for the Wings, 13 of 17, before being relieved by Andrew Shortridge, who stopped 7 of 8. So, kind of a bad deal for Chad Catt, but happens.
It does happen.
It happens.
Once in a while it happens.
So, moving on to the Wings themselves, they played 2 games this weekend up in Bismarck. They had a Friday night game at the VFW Sports Center. After a scoreless first period, Bismarck struck first, just 101 into the second period. But the Wings tied the game at 2:47 on a goal from Bjorn Sigurdsson.
All right.
Bjorn.
We've decided he's just Bjorn.
With an assist by Drew Doyen. Unfortunately, that would be the only goal for the Wings on the night. Okay. Bobcats would score 3 more to take a 4-1 win. Andrew Shortridge took the loss, stopping 34 of 38. The Wings had 19 shots on goal for the night. Okay. So tough Friday night for the Wings. Tough Thursday night for the Wings. So let's go on to Saturday night and see how that worked.
Alrighty.
So rematch on Saturday night. Wings scored late in the first period on a power play goal from Michael Saucier with the goal. Victor Ostling with the assist. Early in the second, Saucier would score another power play goal from Ryan Cook. And then just 90 seconds later, Victor Ostling would score another goal for the Wings from Michael Saucier.
Much better so far.
Much better so far. So 3-0. Bobcats would get a goal late in that period, giving the Wings a 3-1 lead. And then in the third, the Wings would get another power play goal from Kyle Hawk. Assist to Ryan Cook.
Okay.
Bismarck would score 1 more, but that was it. 4-2 victory for the Wings. Andrew Shortridge took the win in net, stopping 35 of 37.
A little redemption from the night before.
Little redemption.
All
So
right.
the Wings picked up 2 standing points on the weekend.
Okay.
And next weekend they do a home-and-home series against the Blizzard.
Okay.
So Friday
Well, at
night
least
in
it's a short travel.
Friday, yep, absolutely. Friday night in Brookings, Saturday night in Aberdeen. It should be
Okay.
a good time. So if you are out and about and looking for some good hockey this weekend, Friday night, Saturday night, go support the Wings and the Blizzard.
Yeah, the Wings-Blizzard rivalry continues to go on.
Yeah, and just wait till we see the standings here in just a little bit. It's getting rather interesting.
You give me a teaser there.
Yeah. So on to the Blizzard, on down to Brookings,
Okay.
and then after the Thursday night meeting in Aberdeen, the division-leading Toros traveled to the Larson Ice Center
All right.
to take on the Blizzard. Friday night's game was back and forth. Minot scored first late in the first. Blizzard would score with just over 90 seconds left in the first. Zed Dietrich goal unassisted, so end of the first, tied at 1.
All right.
In the
Deal with
second, Minot would score again at the 8-minute mark. Brookings scored a goal at 15-15. Victor Lindell from Christopher Brune and Nate Caldwell.
All right. Well done, Victor.
Tied at 2 at the end of the second period.
Okay.
So then in the third, Brookings would score on a power play with just 5 minutes left. TJ Samick from Connor Spetz and Oscar Odd to take the lead, 3-2. But the Toros would tie it moments later to force the overtime.
All right.
So it's overtime, and at the 1:32 mark of overtime, Bo Machad scored a goal from Zach Glinke, and that was the win for Brookings.
All right.
So
well done.
they got another 2 points.
And an overtime win is
An
always
overtime
nice
win's
to
good.
get. Everybody gets a good value for their ticket.
There you go. And Eric Hancock took the win, stopping 22 of 25. So a great game against the division-leading Toros.
Outstanding. Well done, Liz.
So here we go. It's Saturday night now, and the rematch.
And Saturday night wasn't Saturday night their Relay for Life?
Yes.
Purple?
Yeah.
I really would love to have gone to that. I bet that was
would
really
have been fun. The Toros decided to show up Saturday night and show their strength.
Okay.
So they scored 2 goals in each frame. Brookings would get a goal in the first, from a goal from Nate Caldwell, Victor Lindell with the assist, and Tyler Burnt with the second assist. And in the second, there was a power play goal by Bo Machad from Joe Anderson and Zach Glinke. And that was it. Not enough. 6-2 loss for the Blizzard. Kubik took the loss in net. He stopped 38 of 44 shots on goal. Blizzard only took 23 shots on the night, but a 4-point weekend for the Blizzard.
Yeah. And even though they had the last Saturday night, they had a cool-looking rink, wearing those awesome purple jerseys.
And so the race in the Central Division, particularly between our 2 in-state teams, is tightening up. So last week, Aberdeen was in 4th and Brookings was in 5th. They still remain there this week, but they're only separated by 2 points now.
2 points. That's not very many.
No.
A good weekend could change that for the Blizzard.
Certainly. And then Bismarck is 7 points ahead of Aberdeen with 47 points. And then Austin and Minot are just running away, 61 and 59 points. So it's an interesting race in the Central right now.
Still, they have to get after Bismarck and Austin.
They do. And there's still lots of games left.
Oh, yeah.
So lots of time to catch up.
Outstanding. Sounds like a fun weekend.
Certainly sounds that way. So, on to the Sioux Falls Stampede.
Okay.
Herd spent the weekend on the road, and they started the weekend with 40 points in a tie with Des Moines for 4th place in the Western Conference. Okay, we'll start with that. Friday night, Stampede traveled to the Tyson Event Center in Sioux City to take on the conference-leading Sioux City Musketeers. The Muskies would get out to a 4-0 lead by the midway point of the game. The Herd, though, would get 2 goals late in the second to make things interesting. First goal was from Kiefer Bellows on the power play from Cooper Marodi and Lucas Bukta. And then there was another power play goal from the newly acquired Colin Peters with an assist to Matt Nuttall. 4-2 Sioux City at the end of the second. And then in the third, Sioux City would score at the 17-11 mark. And Sioux Falls scored again at 1942, a goal by Aaron Hurt unassisted, but Sioux City took the win.
Oh. Well.
Sioux City took the win 5-3. Art Bry took the loss, stopping 9 of 13, relieved by Stefanos Lekas, who stopped 7 of 8.
Okay.
And Stampede took 42 shots. Saturday night, Stampede returned to the Viero Event Center down in Kearney, Nebraska for a rematch.
Viero. Okay.
Yes, for a rematch of the previous weekend's Saturday night game, which the Stampede took a loss.
Yeah.
This game looked like it would be all Tri-City.
Okay.
Tri-City got off to that familiar 4-0 lead. Same thing that happened to the Stampede on Friday night in Sioux City. That was by the midpoint of the game, but the herd started coming back, led by Kiefer Bellows. Kiefer Bellows had a great weekend.
Yeah, I was
he
just
had
going
an
to say, it sounds
amazing
like he had
weekend.
a really great weekend.
He gets a goal in the second. Bellows from Cooper Marody and Chris Polkamp. That'd bring the game to 4-1 at the end of the second.
Okay.
In the third, the Stampede absolutely took control of the game. They scored at 10-20, Daniel Warpeka from Clint Lewis. Scored 18-22, Kiefer Bellows from Dylan Eichstad and Cooper Marody, and that was an extra attacker goal that they had pulled their goaltender. And then another goal at 19:06, Kiefer Bellows with the hat trick from Cooper Marody with the playmaker. Cooper Marody had 3 assists.
Yeah, wow.
Bellows had a hat trick, forcing overtime, 4-4. Stampede would ultimately take the loss in the shootout.
Wow.
Lekes would take the loss. He stopped 36 of 40. The herd took 28 shots. Next weekend, the Stampede returned to the Denny for a pair of games here. Chicago Steel on Friday night, and then that I-29 rivalry with the Fargo Force on Saturday night.
Now, has the Chicago Steel been here yet?
They have not. This will be the first time, and the first time we played the Steel.
I was thinking that, so that would be a really fun game to go to.
It will absolutely be a fun game, and there are only, I believe, 3 games in the month of February at the Denny. 2 this weekend, and then I think it's not the following week, or the weekend after they play the Team USA, either U18s or U19s are in town. So, or U17, excuse me. But that should be a great week.
You know, any hockey game is a fun game to go to. So that would be really a lot of fun to catch some of those games.
Oh yeah. So in the conference, Western Conference, once again, Stampede started the weekend 40 points, tied for 4th place.
Okay.
They end the conference weekend, or end the weekend with 41 points, sole possession of 5th place.
All right.
So they've dropped a little bit out of the race. Des Moines is 2 points ahead of them with 43 points in 4th. And then you've got Sioux City, Tri-City, and Omaha leading the pack. Still, we're only talking 12 points from Sioux City to the Stampede. The top 5 positions.
Yeah, a lot closer, a lot tighter in this league.
Yeah, it certainly is.
And with just 2 points with the Des Moines ahead of them, that can be changed pretty quickly, can't it?
It certainly can, certainly can. All right, on to the Rush. And the Rapid City Rush had a wild, wild week. Last Tuesday, we'll start with this, Rush announced an acquisition of a second-year goaltender, Joe Howe. Howe comes to the Rush by a trade for future considerations with the ECHL Reading Royals.
Okay.
Or Reading, Pennsylvania. Reading. Yes,
yeah.
There we go. I should know that. There used to be a racetrack there that I used to go to every once in a while. I was out in that area. A native of Plymouth, Minnesota, Howe, 24, played 10 games in the ECHL this season with the Utah Grizzlies. And the Reading Royals, combined goals against of 3.4 and a combined save percentage of 88%. So good start. Yeah, respectable. Last season as a rookie, he played in 7 games with the Missouri Mavericks. Majority of his seasons was spent with the Cincinnati Cyclones, where he backstopped 18 games and posted a 10-3-4 record with a 2.78 goals against and a 907 save percentage. So he's
got it,
yeah,
it's there.
And he is a Colorado College alum.
Okay.
Had a great season, or great career with Colorado College, playing 117 games and posting 54-50 and 10 record. So lots of respect there. It sounds like he could really bring a lot to this team. So Thursday night, the Allen Americans rode into town, and they took the 24-shot second period to an eventual win. But Jesse Schultz became the all-time leading scorer in Rush franchise history in that 6-2 loss. So Schultz breaks the record held by longtime Rush captain Scott Ray. Recorded an assist in the third period to mark his 237th point for the Rapid City Rush.
That's impressive.
That's amazing. Cale Kerbashi had made himself at home for the Rush, rifling his first shot in his new uniform past the Allen netminder, giving the Rush an early 1-0 advantage just a minute and a half into the game. Despite the quick start, the Americans would score a lot. They came back and just scored 4 goals in the second, 2 goals in the third, and the lone bright spot in the third was for the Rush was Cody Ferrero's deflection of a Matthew Brisebois shot from the point, and that was their only goal in the third. So it was
one of these days the Rush are going to take the Allen Americans.
They are.
It'll happen.
But the Allen American lead that division, so that's a pretty tough feat. Griggs took the loss in net, stopping 15 of 18 in 26 minutes, and then Joe Howe, the newly acquired goaltender, came in and played the rest of the game, stopping 20 of 23.
Okay.
On to Friday night. Jesse Schultz added to his big weekend with a hat trick, 3 more points. And then Joe Howe won his first start in the Rush uniform. Rapid City Rush earned a split with the Americans. 6-3 win on Friday night.
So they got that win against the
did.
Allen Americans. That's awesome.
So they had a scoreless first period. Americans picked up from where they left off, struck twice within the first 3 minutes of the second period for a 2-0 lead. The Rush would eventually surge back. Matthew Brisebois scoring a 5-on-3 power play goal, having the deficit to 2-1.
Okay.
Moments later, the best offensive shift of the game, Daniel Tetrault slammed home a Dylan Clark pass from the high slot to tie the game at 2-2. Just over 5 minutes to play in the second, Jesse Schultz continued the rally, scoring off of a puck bouncing actively off the back kick plate behind the net and into the net.
Really?
Yeah, so I'm not exactly sure how that went. I'm trying to find a videotape of that one. It sounds very interesting.
I can't visualize that at all.
So bouncing off the kick plate, back in front, and then into the net. So I'm wondering if it may have...
Had to hit the back of the goal?
Possibly hit the back of the goaltender, or there was somebody standing there right in front to push it in.
Yeah.
In any event, Jesse Schultz had a hat trick that night. He scored a goal, his second tally, a minute and a half later than that last one. When I passed from Daniel Barksuk, Allen then scored a goal and got within fighting distance, but that was about it for that. Then Jesse Schultz had an empty netter to complete his hat trick, 20 seconds left for the 6-3 victory.
Outstanding.
Joe Howe,
go Rush.
Yeah, Joe Howe, newly acquired goaltender, 26 of 29 shots faced, earned his first win, so he's 1-0-0 with the Rush. Nice start.
Really a nice start.
And Rush begin their 3-3 set on Thursday, February 5th, followed by a February 6th trip to Missouri and back in Tulsa on February 7th. So Tulsa, Missouri, Tulsa. 3 nights.
A little bouncing around there.
A little bit of bouncing around.
Well,
but
we've talked about before that's just kind of what they have to do with their schedule, where everybody's located.
It sure does. It sure
does. But it sounds like overall it was a good weekend for the Rush. So
good weekend for the Rush. Good weekend for the Blizzard. Stampede had a tough weekend, and
Wings had
a tough weekend, but you know, those are to be expected from time to time.
Yeah, somebody's got to win. Somebody doesn't get to.
Yeah, certainly.
Well, that wraps everything up.
Yeah, that sure does. So I just want to say thank you for watching on our Blizzard delayed telecast tonight.
Yeah.
We're happy to be out here at the IcePlex on a Monday night recording this, but next week we'll try for Sunday again.
We'll try to get back on schedule, but we can handle the ice, we just can't handle the snow, right?
There we go.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Have a great night. I'm Randy Preston.
Carol McKee.
Take care.
And you are Hockey 605.